just want to mention about the changes to the SIA training. Now, since the beginning of this year, there was the introduction of the new QCF qualifications, which introduced a modular training structure, which invariably means that the courses now are divided into sections. Now, as of the 1st of September, this applies to the door supervisors as well. So, say for example you want to do the door supervisor training. What you'll first need to do what is known as the working in the private security industry. Now this is the core module, which I'll just show you here, that we have. We call it the working in the private security industry module. Now, if you're going to do this course as a standalone course, it will cost £85, thereabouts. This course consists of six units. Now, the 6 units of contents include communication skills and customer skills, emergency procedures, fire awareness, health and safety, law awareness, and then the private security industry, which talks about the introduction of the SIA, which is the Security Industry Authority, which is the regulator of the private security industry. And if you want to work in the private security industry, you'll need to have a license, an SIA license. Now, there are a number of licensable sectors which you can see here. We have the CCTV. So, say for example you want to do the CCTV training, you'll need to have the working in the private security industry module first, as I say, which consists of the eight units, and then you'll need to do the CCTV training. CCTV training is divided into 2 sections. Now the cost of the CCTV is £145. Now the CCTV training, you'll do the theory, which looks at a number of areas in the CCTV. It would include things like roles and responsibilities of a CCTV operator, CCTV code of practice and guidelines, CCTV equipment and its operations, look at the technology, different types of technology we use, as you can see here in the CCTV control room. We look at control room communication, so we'll be looking at using radio equipment, we'll be looking at using the pro words, etc., and call signs, and all other types of the communication equipment we use in the control room. We'll also look at customer care, equality and diversity, control room access, because control room must be considered to be a secure unit, so we need to look at the implications of, you know, if there was any violations of that. We'll look at legislation, dealing with incidents, how to deal with certain incidents, CCTV surveillance, we'll look at surveillance techniques, fire and emergency procedures, and then health and safety. So that would be the theory side of the CCTV. Then you've got the practical side. So it's not just knowing the theory, but you need to know how to use the CCTV equipment. Now the CCTV course, including the working in the private security industry, will take about 4 days. Okay, we got about 32 hours, guided learning hours in total. So that's a CCTV, and then you would be able to apply for the CCTV license. And then we've got also security. If you want to do security training and just get the standard security license, then you'll need to have the working in the private security industry module. And if you've already done that training alongside other training, you won't need to do it again. So you'll need the working in the private security industry. You'll need to have your your security guarding training, which would consist of a number of modules. I'll just go through a few of them. I'm not going to go through them all, but if you go to our website on www.nightguard.co.uk, it will illustrate a number of the modules which we look at. Things like, again, we'll look at the law, we'll look at patrolling, We'll look at arrest procedures, so you need to know how to make an arrest. We'll look at reporting, how to patrol, etc. We'll look at access and egress control, etc. Okay, so that's the security guarding. We'll also need to do, if you do security guarding, you'll need to also have communication and conflict management. So the communication and conflict management course, which is more using proactive skills, communication skills, skills to learn how to avoid conflicts and assessing risks, how to diffuse and calm a conflict, how to resolve conflicts, and then also learning from conflicts. Okay, the communication and conflict management course is a day's course, around about 7.5 hours. Okay, if you're going to do that as a standalone course, it will be £100. Okay, but with the security guardian, we do that at £105, and then you'll also have to pay for your exams, which are £65. So in total that'll be £170. And then the door supervision. This is the door supervision course. Now the door supervision course, again, you'll need to have the working in the private security industry. A standalone, that's £85. You'll need to do the door supervisor course. Now the door supervisor course is divided into 2 sections. You do the door supervision course, which will be around about 9 modules. We'll be looking at things like, again, arrest procedures, how to deal with people who are drunk and disorderly. We'll be looking at licensing laws, civil and criminal law. We'll also be looking at drugs awareness, because as you appreciate, on a licensed premises, people there's a lot of drug taking. It's just a known fact in the licensed industry. So we do need to know how to deal with people who are under the influence of drugs, etc. So we're looking at drug awareness. Look at searching. Searching is one of the things. The role of a door supervisor is to decide on the suitability of the customers allowed onto a licensed premises. So we'll be looking at searching, having an admission policy. Why do we need an admission policy, etc. The importance of doing a good search, etc. Okay, so that's the door supervision, and then obviously alongside the door supervision you'll need communication and conflict management, okay, as you did before. And then, as I say, standalone, that will be £105 on its own. Exams will be 65. However, we now with the introduction of the new modular structure, we also need to do physical intervention. Physical intervention for all door supervisors. It's mandatory as of the 1st of September that all door supervisors learn physical skills. And physical skills involves learning defensive skills, learning about physical intervention. So a defensive skill, when would we use a defensive skill? What are the lawful implications of using defensive skills? Okay, and also we'll be looking at what types of physical interventions, both non-restrictive and restrictive interventions. We also need to know, we'll be looking at things like the use of force, the legal implications of the use of force. What does the law say about us using force? So we'll be looking at both common law, what common law says to protect yourself or another, and also statute law, the Criminal Law Act 1967, which gives us the grounds for using force in the event of arresting and also in the prevention of a crime. So those things we look at. So we look at the legal implications, also medical implications of the use of force. Because if we've got to appreciate that people may have underlying medical conditions, such as breathing difficulty, asthma, etc. Okay, so what's the medical implications of the use of force? And also considerations that we need to consider after using force. Okay, so it may be we may need to call first aid, medical assistance, etc.